Morning, everybody. Jeff from Rust Bucket Valley Garage. We got something a little bit different for you today. Um, it was a fashion a little while back to take furniture and make a bathroom vanity out of it. And we have a application where we can take um, and do that. We've never done one before. We got a free dresser, and we also have a glass top that we got. So, and that was free also. That was a change out from something that we did. So, we're going to actually make this take and fit on the top of this and make it look decent. The reason we're working with this one here, this particular dresser, is everything is screwed together, so it makes it come apart rather easily, and then we can make the modifications that we need to make. As it stands right now, this dresser is too high. Okay, which means that we are going to have to take the sides off and we're going to have to cut them down. And also, it is too long. This thing here is about 6 feet, and we need a bathroom vanity that is 42 and 1/4 inches wide. So we're going to go ahead and take the top off of this and take and cut it down, and then we're going to take and rebuild it. It would be a problem if we wanted to take and keep this dark walnut, but we're going to be painting this beige, and so we can go ahead and we can cut the ends, and it won't matter because we're going to paint it. So we've already removed the drawers out of here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put the thing up on our store horses here, and then we're going to take the back off of it, and then we're going to take the top off, and because it's all screwed on, so we can take and get that cut to size. And then this thing right here, since it's too tall, we need about 37 inches to the top of the glass surface for the sink, okay, because that's what they typically are. And then we're also going to, when we take and cut the legs, we're going to make like a toe kick. What a toe kick is in this area here, instead of being straight to the floor, it kind of goes in a little bit and then down. It's about 4 inches in and 4 inches down, or 6 inches in, 6 inches down, so that when you're standing at the front of the sink, that it makes it a little bit easier on your back so you can take and stand straight. But we've been thinking about this for a couple of days, and we think we've come up with a plan. We're also going to save all of this work here, all of these pieces, and then we're going to split this right down the center, and we're going to make 2 doors that open up. So this ought to be an interesting little project. I'll take and bring you along and show you the different stages that we're going to go through. But as I said before, the first thing is removing the back and the top, and then I'll be back with you and show you what we're going to do next. So as you can see, we've disassembled the carcass of the dresser, and this was actually the piece in the front. This came out, this was just screwed in, so that's very nice. This right here is disassembled as far as we want to go right now to get this piece off. This is the top. This is the first piece that we're going to be operating on. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take some off this side and some off this side to take and make it the 41.5 inch wide that we need. Okay. So we've done a little bit of operating on the top here. Uh, we've cut an equal amount off both sides. So this side right here will be against the wall with a nice molding on the front, okay, which will look very nice. Okay, we did the same on the other side. Okay, so previously I told you some dimension, like 41.5 or something like that. Always check your dimensions. That is a dimension right there, 42.25. Okay, so got to check the dimensions, make sure everything you get it the right size. Okay, so what we've done is we have the top on here, we have it centered. Okay, now would be about the time to drill the hole for the plumbing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole using a hole saw right at the center of this, and it'll be 2 inches in diameter, and that will be enough to take and let the plumbing go through there, and then put the pipe through. Okay, one thing that you want to take in and make sure is that this is centered on the piece, and also that you're even on the back. So I put a square here, okay, and made sure that the back is even with the back of this, because right now there's an existing mirror that is right here, so we're not going to be doing anything with that. So obviously when we get ready to take and install this, we're going to clean all this up really, really good. Okay, make it look super nice. Okay, so as I said, next thing we're going to do, we're going to take a hole saw, we're going to pop a hole in here, and then that will take and call the location of our drain. The next thing that we have to do is the total height to this rim right here has to be approximately 37 inches. Okay, so we're going to take a measurement from here, and we're going to see how much of this that we have to take off. So obviously, you know, these legs and everything will go, and we will disassemble this the rest of the way and get these sides cut, and then the sides will go back on the underside of this using 3/4 by 3/4 cleats that will go the full length, and we're going to glue and screw those on, make sure the thing is really strong. And then we're going to have a limited back on this because there's a bunch of plumbing that's there that we don't want to interfere with. And also about right here, about a foot off the floor, the drain comes in. Okay, so we have to take and provide for that. So obviously, since this is going to be against the wall, we're going to have to take and cut out an area approximately like that to clear the drain, and then we can take and get this thing plumbed up. So let me show you what we're going to do next. So you notice here in the top that we have our hole in for the drain. This is the front, and we had to take and put a hole in the back for the plumbing, and that matches this right here. So we have the drain, and we have where the faucet goes. So we went ahead and set that piece aside, and we have our sides that we're working on. So we have them cut to length. We put the glass sink on top of the piece that's going to go under it, and then we measured down, and we're going to make this one about 35 high. So that ought to be a very good height. And then we've gone in with the saw, and we've taken in and cut out for the toe kick, so you can stand directly in front of the vanity, and it won't take and stress your back when you're standing there, because you have to stand back just a little bit. And then on the inside, we'll go in and take this and frame it in. So this is the fascia or front of the cabinet here You'll notice here that there were some blocks in there. They were also nailed, and they were also glued in place. So actually what I did is I took a bar and I just opened it up just a little bit, and then just ran that straight down here, tapping it with a hammer, and it cut the glue loose, and it also took and cut the nails. So there are some blocks that are missing off here, but we're going to have to take this this frame and cut it up, and then make it so it fits the way it should. So the next thing we're going to be doing is we are going to be mounting these pieces on the underside of the top. So as you can see, we've been busy this morning. So what we did is we found it was easier when mounting the sides to take and cut down the face frame first, and we went ahead and did that. We cut a couple of pieces out of there on the saw, and then we take and put the thing back together with screws and staples and wood and all kinds of good stuff. We have oak blocks that are in the corner here, screwed both ways to keep them in place. So as it stands right now, all the hardware on the front has been hidden because we want to take and keep the front real nice. We don't want any exposed hardware there. Next thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take and build the toe kick. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut a piece of wood about 6 inches wide. We got to take this measurement here, and then another piece like this, so that we can take and close this area in, and then that will also be the beginning of our bottom shelf. So after getting these pieces mounted on here, this thing is upside down right now. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the assembly that goes on the back, and we're going to cut that down to size, and then go ahead and get that installed. This assembly here is the back assembly. It was in the back of it, the back of the dresser attached to, and you can see here it was bolted to the underside of the top, and then the back of the drawer guides were attached to this, and you can see the head spacer blocks here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then some on that side. So I think they had 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 drawers in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our major portion off of the top here, which is going to be about that much. Okay, so that's going to come to about right there. So we can take and make the back strong, and then we can take and put it back on it, make it a little bit stronger. But we have to keep in mind that we're going to have to cut out some areas for installation for the plumbing. There are 2 pipes coming up from the floor and 1 from the left side. So probably what we do before we deliver it is we'll go ahead and go over and take some final measurements of the customers, and then we'll go ahead and do those pre-cuts here so we can make sure we can get them nice and square and everything. So we're going to take this piece and we're going to run it through the table saw, and we're going to get it down to size. Okay, and I'll show you what that looks like when we get finished. So we've taken the back portion here, this stiffener that we're putting in the back, and we run it through the saw, and we take and put these back together. They were stapled and glued, so we cut those apart and we just drilled through here. This is oak, so we went ahead and we didn't want to split it, so we went ahead and we shot a hole in here, and then we put a screw in here, and this really takes and stiffens up the cabinet. So the next thing we're going to be building is the toe kick for here. Okay, so we got to get some lumber cut up, and we also got to do some notching. So we want to make that look really good. So I'll show you what that looks like when we get finished. Okay, so this thing's starting to come together now. We got the toe cake installed, and looks pretty good. We hit all the screws underneath there. Okay, and since this is going to be up against the wall, we went ahead and reinforced it so no one will ever see this. And did the same thing on the other side. A little bit of a gap right there, but we have right here we have support, and we have a support over here. Okay, so that should be just fine. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to reinforce the floor here. We're going to put a couple of pieces here and one on the other side, so that the drain comes in right about here, and then we have two water pipes that come in, so we won't put any bracing in that area. So we went ahead and built our floor, and we notched the corners to take in and fit in around this little piece right here and in the back. You never put, if you wind up with a small piece, you never put the small piece in the back. You always put it in the field. So that's what we had here. We have a piece of 1 3/8 that was, we needed that to complete the width. So went ahead and got all this in here. We also have our reinforcing underneath. So this is a reinforcement underneath, and we hit all the screws. We used 3x3 cleats, or 3/4 by 3/4 cleats, to take and put the stretcher in here. And then we won't be putting any screws in the top because we want to take and keep that clear. So the screws on the bottom ought to take and hold it. Around on the back side, this part of the stiffening structure that we put in the back, we went ahead and shot a couple of screws in there into the stiffener that goes for the floor. So you notice we kept all this area here clear because there's some piping that has to come up from there, and we want to be able to accommodate that. So we can go ahead and cut on that. Has to go in, about that far, I guess. So no big deal. So I think we can handle that. So the next thing we will be doing will be building doors. We have all the drawers for the front of this. So we are going to be cannibalizing those drawers for parts that we're going to take in and make it look like a dresser, and it's going to have drawer pulls on it. And however, there will be a divide right here that this side will open up and this side will be open up, and there'll be hinge, and then hinge. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. So we've done about as much as we can on the body of this. So we put reinforcing strips on the inside here to reinforce the sides on both sides, because we're going to be putting hinges on here for the doors. And we also put a stop down here at the bottom, which adds a little bit of strength. We went and did some measurements yesterday, and we have to take and cut out here for some plumbing, and also right here for some plumbing. So we'll get to that soon. But let me show you what I did with in manufacturing the doors. So this is how the drawers come. We went ahead and yesterday we ran them through the saw, and we cut them right here and across the bottom and then up the other side, just so we could get the face off. Okay, and then we went ahead and measured the height and width of the opening that we want to put the drawers, that we want to take and make the front doors out of. We divided them in half, and we gave ourselves about 1/8 of an inch down the middle for clearance. And then we went ahead and we cut those front drawer pieces up, and we took an equal amount off each side, so the drawer pull hole will be in the middle of each panel. So since we're going to be gluing these things up, okay, these things are varnished on the inside, so after we got them cut to size, which is right here, we had to take and sand those. So this will be the outside, this will be the inside. So you notice holes are right in the middle. So we'll go ahead and we will cut some pieces just to make them just like that. And that will be one door, and then the door for the other side will be here. And then we'll go ahead and we'll glue those up, and we'll also take and tack them with some nails. So when we set up the doors to be glued up, we use the wider and the wider and the smaller width pieces. And we've got 2 door cleats. These are about 3 inches wide and about 19.5 inches long. Okay, and there's one on each side. This side will be for reinforcement, as will the other side, but it's thick enough here to they can keep the pieces compliant, because we're not going to take and glue the edge, we're just going to glue the back. That's the reason we had to go in and sand all this. Okay, and so we're going to use Titebond glue, and then we're going to take and use some Infinite nails to take and put them together. You'll notice on the bottom here that we left a little area. Okay, let me show you why that is. Okay, here's the door stop that is going to be on the bottom. So you want that cleat to take in and clear that, so you won't have any interference problem. So that's why we went ahead and did that. So we're going to glue those 2 doors up, and then we're going to let them dry in the shop overnight. So tomorrow we should be mounting the doors with the hardware that we have. We went to Home Depot, not a sponsor, got some hinges, and we're ready to go. So anyway, we have our door that is all dry now, and we put it together with some finish nails that we found in our stock. Not too long, so we don't want to pop out the other side. And went to Home Depot, not a sponsor, got some hinges. Go ahead and put it on there. One other thing that we did is we put a stop here in the middle, and it helps support the top. So we have one of the doors mounted already. We found it's easier to lay the cabinet down to go ahead and do that, and we can kind of get things centered out. What we'll do is, you can see right here that we mount them on the door first, and we just pick some area that some distance that is what we like, and the top one's up a little bit, the bottom one's up a little bit further, and then we just take a razor blade, put a little scratch in here, and then when we sand this down and paint it, all that'll come off. Okay, so we got one door on, fitting pretty well. So we just have to take and do the other door. So I'll show you what it looks like when we get the other door on. The next thing that we are going to be doing, you notice that this is kind of a bowl shape, and we need some kind of support underneath here to take and support it so it won't be rolling around and everything. So we will be building a structure, a support structure for the sink, so it can fit down in there, and everything will go ahead and line up with the holes. And just the weight of it should be enough to take and hold it in position. So we'll get on that after we get the other door on. So as you can see, we got our doors mounted on here, and we also take and put magnetic catches here, where you put the magnet on here, and on the door you take and put a little metal tab, and they just close. So next thing that we had to do is we had to make like a box to take and hold the sink. And when we took and picked this dresser up, we got 2 nightstands, a bed frame. So we used part of the bed frame to take and make the box, and then some of the other pieces of the bed we used to take and make cleats here all the way around to take and hold that. And let me show you what the thing looks like with the sink on it. So we got sink sitting on here. The only thing it needs is the sink needs a real good cleaning, and which we'll go ahead and do that. And it needs a paint job. We're going to take and paint it beige, because the area where they have, we got to bring some light in there. So we don't want a big dark piece of furniture right there. So we'll take and paint it beige, take and bring some light into the area. So this right here, we had everything, we got everything, we had stuff donated to us. So we came up with this piece of furniture for just labor. Okay, we'll have to look around and see if we can find some paint. But this took us on and off about 3 days, I guess, and it was all spare time. So we got everything lined up, and we got the outlet for the sink, and in here we got the holes from the faucet, and for the tubes that go to the faucet. So we'll have to take and find a faucet someplace. But if we were to take and buy something like this, we'd probably be looking at $500 or $600. So if we can come up with something like this, I'm sure you can find something that you can do exactly the same thing. So we're going to take and paint this up, and we'll finish this video out. And you just have to wait until we get it painted. Okay, and that's going to be the next step. So here we are with a finished project, and we have all the hardware on it. So we put the door pulls on from the dresser, so we didn't have to buy any hardware. And also, since the last time you've seen it, we were going to paint it beige. We checked the customer, and they wanted light gray, and we happen to have some light gray paint. And also, to take and finish off the ends here, we went ahead and put a 3-inch wide piece on here to kind of enclose this just a little bit. So that finishes the inside off just a little bit. We found a drain for it in our stock, so we didn't have to dig and go buy one. There was one modification that we had to do to this, and the hole right here for the drain, we had to take and cut that out about another 1/4 of an inch to make everything fit, because on the bottom of the sink there's a nut that you have to tighten up. So we'll assemble the drain to the sink and the faucet to the sink before we take and put it in. But the thing is, the nut was too big and wouldn't fit through the hole, so that's the reason we had to take and open it up a little bit. But it's all ready for delivery. So we're going to be delivering this today and installing it. So we have the top all cleaned up, and it's already on the job site. So we're pretty happy with the way this project came out. The total cost for this was about $15. The reason it was $15 is because we had to go and buy these hinges here on both sides, and then the catches that are in the middle, they're magnetic catches. So between those three items, because the hinges come in pairs, so 1, 2 pair of hinges and 2 catches, yeah, about $15. So not bad, not bad at all. We had to paint, so all of these pieces have reinforcement cleats back behind them, take and support everything. And the sink will sit right on top of there. We get the plumbing on there. It's not going to be moved around because the top is heavy enough. But we're pretty happy with this one. Hope I've given you some good information. I hope you'd enjoyed this project. We really enjoyed doing this and helping these people out. Get something that is really nice and didn't really cost them a whole heck of a lot. So we're going to be off to our plumbing supplier, and we're going to pick up a faucet and a couple of pieces of 1.5 ABS, and that's about all we need to take and install this. Okay? Thank you so much for following us through this project. I hope you enjoyed it. And please subscribe, hit notifications. You'll find out when we do something new. And thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time.